Yo, what is going on, everybody? My name is Mike, and welcome to TrendSpider Live. Today, we're going to be watching out for Visa earnings. It's going to be coming right after the bell here, probably about 5 or 15 minutes after the bell, depending when they decide to release the report. But we're going to be covering Visa earnings as well as all the other stuff going on in the market today. There's been quite a bit of news coming out, very exciting news today coming out. For one, Palantir and NVIDIA just announced a partnership together that is sending NVIDIA up to new all-time highs, breaking over this 1.618 level. Very nice today, very nice. And then if we also pull up Palantir, they are also sitting on the brink of all-time highs. So, whenever two of the most hyped stocks in the market announce a partnership, the market is doing good. You know what I mean? But if you guys are out there in the audience, go ahead and say what's up in the chat. But let's get back over to Visa and see what's going on with Visa stock going into their earnings. As you can see, I have the weekly chart open, which is quite a long time frame, yes, but since it's Visa, it's not a very strong mover in the first place. And so we're going to start on the weekly chart because that's just really, I'll show you guys the 5-minute chart here. There's not a ton going on today. Hope we'll probably get some pickup into after hours as the stock reports earnings. But speaking of earnings, let's go ahead and take a look at what we're expecting. So first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to open Sidekick and I'm going to send a prompt in to show us a bar chart comparing Visa's expected Q4 EPS compared to its last Q4 EPS, just so you can see how it's stacking up. And then also the same thing for revenue. But if you do look over here to the reports tab over on the right-hand side, you will notice that basically they don't miss earnings at all. Visa, over the last basically 3 years, they've missed one surprise change percent in Q3 of 2024 for revenue. And on EPS, they've literally haven't missed at all over the last 3 years, which is kind of insane. But if we go over here to this Sidekick chart that I just made, you can see the Q4 actual EPS from last year in 2024, about 2.71. And then this year, it's expected to be slightly higher. And I believe it says the chart shows Visa expected to deliver approximately 10% growth across both EPS and revenue compared to last year. And given Visa's track record of practically always beating, there's definitely potential for an upside surprise today, which I would absolutely agree with. So yeah, looking pretty good on the Visa front. Then you can also see right here our analyst ratings table. Over the last 30 days, there has been one analyst upgrade or just analyst rating in general. It was a buy rating it at 410. If I put on the analyst estimates history indicator, we can see all of the price targets from analysts. The lowest one is sitting right there at about 390. We got an average analyst rating from all the analysts sitting right around, like 410, 407. And the absolute highest one is right around 425 or so. So analysts are obviously bullish on Visa. It's kind of hard not to be. They pretty much always are trending up and to the right. Yo, what is going on, Monkey Man? Great to see you. Tony, thank you for your tremendous videos. Who would be the best for me to speak to about your indicators? Their contact and depends which indicators you're talking about, Tony. But yeah, let me know which indicator you're interested in. I can probably point you in the right direction. But in general, if you click the contact us button at the bottom right of your platform, if you're on TrendSpider, that is, our support team is amazing and can definitely help you out in that sense. Trend line. If you mean like the automated trend lines, that's pretty much built into the platform. So yeah, I would just hit up our support, or if you have any specific questions, just feel free to drop them in the chat and I can answer them as well. Also, if you guys are new to these streams, please hit the like button and subscribe so you guys can, continue showing up and see all the amazing free streams that we do for you guys. And also another thing, we are running a great sale right now. It's our Halloween sale. If you just go to TrendSpider.com or use the link down below in the description, you can get a trial of TrendSpider for just $9 and then also save 55% on an annual plan. So if you wanted to try out the platform, it's literally $9. You can try it out for 2 weeks, 14 days, see if you like it. You can obviously cancel if you don't like it, but it's an amazing platform and it's most definitely worth trying it out for that small amount of money of just $9. So anyway, back to Visa earnings. And yes, no problem, Tony. I'm going to do one more thing right here with Sidekick. If you don't know, Sidekick is the built-in TrendSpider AI. It's basically ChatGPT if you connect it to all of the awesome financial data in TrendSpider. So it can basically read all of our fundamental data. It can see your charts. It can read indicators that are on your charts. It can search through like 10K filings, SEC filings. It's pretty insane. So what I did right now is I said, create a comparison table of Visa compared to its top competitors and compare their market cap, PE ratio, operating margins, price to sales ratios, and free cash flow. And then I just said, explain how Visa compares to them. And as you can see, it basically just created a chart for me comparing Visa to its competitors with exactly the stuff that I wanted to see. So let's just take a look real quick. So first of all, it automatically knew the competitors were, which is, of course, the top one is MasterCard and then American Express, and it threw PayPal in there too. I'll take a look at them in a sec because they also just reported earnings this morning. But yeah, you can compare all these different companies with Sidekick. And as you can see, their PE ratio of Visa is actually higher than American Express and PayPal, interesting enough. Well, PayPal has been trading pretty low lately, except for today. It actually had a nice little breakout, somewhat breakout. Let me show you guys the chart of PayPal today. It basically, one, reported good earnings this morning. Then they also announced a partnership with OpenAI. So, you know, partnerships with OpenAI these days are like gold. The stock was up pretty good this morning, but it looks like ever since, you know, the top, it's came down, but still up on the day. It's up currently about a little under 5%, but at one point it was up about 12%, which is pretty insane. Great move for PayPal, but it doesn't look like it's seeming to hold. Last time it broke out of this little downtrend line or symmetrical triangle, it did get rejected as well. So we'll see if that one can hang on. But you can see their PE ratio is pretty low compared to Visa. Same with their market cap, of course, too. Visa is dominating market cap wise compared to like MasterCard's catching up a bit. But Visa is definitely the dominant one here. That's exactly what it's saying. Visa is the clear market leader with the highest market cap. However, this comes at a premium because Visa trades at a price sales of looks like 19, at least based on the last earnings report or whatever data this Sidekick pulled from, which is actually the highest compared to all the competitors. Not the greatest sign there. As you can see, the free cash flow for Visa is a little bit lower than MasterCard, definitely lower than American Express. And then we got PayPal over here with negative cash flows, at least quarterly. So let's see. Bottom line, I always like to read the bottom lines in these AI outputs because it generally kind of just summarizes everything for you, but it basically says Visa justifies its premium valuation through superior operating margins. Oh, I missed that. Their operating margin, very, very good compared to their competitors. Yeah, you can see it's 68.97%, which is incredibly high considering, especially compared to the competition. So that's how they, you know, justify their valuation, which still is not super high. Their P ratio is 37 or so, which is, you know, still lower than MasterCard at least. So not bad. And it's saying AXP, American Express, does offer a cheap alternative, but with significantly lower margins and a different business risk profile. So that's kind of an interesting insight for sure from Sidekick there. As we go into Visa earnings here, which should be, we get the market closing in about 6 minutes. So we have a little bit of time. I wanted to show you guys some other charts today. Another stock that reported today was United Health, UNH. And this one, I feel like a lot of people kind of forgot about. If I draw an all-time high, I think that's the all-time high anchored VWAP right there. You can see that going into this earnings report, this anchored VWAP here is from all-time high. Basically had a support resistance flip. You can see, you know, of course, it came down to all the bad news, the CEO getting shot, you know, all of the crazy stuff that was happening with United Health. But then recently, or somewhat recently, back in August, we remember we saw Warren Buffett and Michael Burry buy right here, causing this gap up, breaking above this first anchored VWAP resistance. It was consolidating there for a bit, and then it broke up to the all-time high, rejected it, bounced off it a couple of times, and now it looks like we're consolidating and using this one as support. It did end up filling the gap, I think officially today, maybe basically filled it right there too. But this is definitely an interesting chart to look out for as well. Earnings were a bit mixed. And another fun one today was SoFi. SoFi reported earnings before the bell. And as always, SoFi killed it on earnings. You see their EPS and revenue and nothing but green numbers. I mean, this is just honestly just a beautiful, beautiful revenue and EPS chart, just straight up and to the right. Stock price is following it to the T. You know, their EPS, they flipped from negative to positive basically about 2 years ago at this point. And yeah, they just continue and continue to grow. If you're in SoFi, if you're in Visa, let me know in the chat below. Also, if you guys are just tuning in, I see there's a couple more people tuning in. Say what's up in the chat. How are you guys doing today? I'm sure you guys are loving this market. I know I am. It has been honestly amazing, this market. So let me know what you guys are in. If you guys are making money. Hopefully you guys are. But yeah, SoFi, new all-time highs today, which is probably good for, I guess, Visa earnings into close here. Visa is going to report here pretty soon. The market closes in 3 minutes, and then Visa will report their numbers either 5 minutes or 15 minutes after the bell. Visa long or short? I mean, absolutely, I would never, ever short Visa personally. I mean, it's a very consistent stock. Only downside of Visa that I can see is like some sort of blockchain disruption, which is probably a legitimate concern. Unless they adopt it themselves, then they're probably fine. But yeah, they're a very stable company, as you guys can see. They always beat EPS. They always beat revenue numbers for the most part. And if you look at the kind of the weekly chart right here, they have been consolidating for a while. You know, it's not a crazy moving stock by any means, but, you know, they pay a dividend and they consistently grow over time. Considering selling it before earnings, well, you have about 1 minute to make that decision. I'm not going to tell you which way to go. But yeah, I wouldn't be personally super scared holding it through, but I mean, yeah, I don't know. It depends on what you're trying to do with it. Yeah, that's a tough one. I mean, if you look at the last earnings, you can see, what did they do last in April? It looks like they mostly went up. And then in July earnings, they went down a little bit. But even, you know, when they come down on earnings, they come down 7-8%, it's really not a stock that probably trade and more just sit there and hold. 18x leverage long. Okay, that's pretty wild. Are you in calls? Are you in just shares? How are you getting 18x leverage on Visa? I have calls, but I wouldn't be surprised if it drops and then flats. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Calls on Visa doesn't seem like, I don't know when your calls expire, but Yeah, Fossey. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. But yeah, it should be fun for you through this earnings. Could be really fun or maybe really not fun. But we got the market closing here about 1 minute. Let's go down to our 1 minute chart as the market closes. Yo, and if you guys are just tuning in, there's the bell. And let's see what goes and happens with Visa here. Got gifted money and wanted to risk something. All right, so you throw it into Visa for earnings. Interesting. I'm not hating on it. That's a pretty consistent stock. I don't know if I would have gone 18 levered into Visa, but that is all right. But let's see what happens. We have our after hours data on. This is the first candle of after hours right here. So it should be fun to watch, especially if you're 18x levered long. Who else is in Visa? I'm sure some of you other people are in Visa out there if you're on this stream. And again, if you guys are new to this stream, TrendSpider Live, that is, please hit the subscribe button and like so you guys never miss one again. We are also going live the next 2 days. You guys, we have tons of earnings coming out. We got like Microsoft, we got Apple earnings, tons of the Mag 7 reporting over the next 2 days. So it's going to be a real fun time. So hit the subscribe button and also hit the notification bell on YouTube so you can get notified when we go live. But it will be the same time for the next 2 days. Or actually, tomorrow is the FOMC. We're going to have a real long live tomorrow starting at 2 p.m. Eastern. I believe that's when the FOMC rate decision is going to happen. Then we have tons of massive companies reporting earnings, so definitely tune in. So far, Visa, by the way, is of about 0.32%. Nothing insane there at all. Let me go ahead and pull up our news widget here. Let me also refresh it. So no numbers yet that I am seeing, but as we all know, Visa almost always beats. So there's a very, very good chance that they do beat. It would be a pretty big surprise if they don't. But let's see what happens. Not trusting had to sell. Fossey, what did you sell? Were you in calls? Yeah, you're in calls. Well, that's fair. I would never really recommend holding options through earnings. Let's refresh this news widget. Still no numbers out. We probably got at least a few more minutes, probably till 1:05 Pacific time. That is. So while we wait, let's take a look at our what's happening now. We can put this sidekick to the side over here. But we can look at some insider trades and some analyst estimates. As we remember, the most recent analyst estimate and the only one over the last 30 days is a buy rating with a price target of 410, currently trading at 348. Oh, you traded through Oracle earnings? That must have been a good one. We actually are getting some movement to the upside here on Visa. Yeah, I'm sure you made a ton of money on Oracle earnings. Must have been a very fun after hours for you then. And yeah, for insider trading over here, on the other hand, it looks like mostly just selling from the insiders. You got their CEO selling quite a bit of shares. Let's see how much they're selling, if we can see that dollar amount. Yeah, he's been selling like $3.5 million worth of shares at a time. Keep in mind, his last sale is about 27 days ago. Looks like he sells like once a month, though, so that's probably pretty normal stuff for him. Yeah, looks like he sells about once a month, takes about, it looks like it's pretty consistently a little over about $3 million. Not the worst income, right? $3 million a month. I'll take that. And then analyst estimates, price target 410. You can see all these price targets are pretty much above where the stock is currently trading at 347. Lowest one I'm seeing is at like 391. you guys are on TrendSpider, you can go to what's happening now, add a feed. Oh, it looks like we're in some movement here. Everything that was just gained was just lost, which isn't a lot, about 0.5%, not even. Let's see if the numbers came out. Not seeing numbers quite yet. But yeah, some pretty decent candles, I guess, for Visa here in the after hours session. It looks like some more people are piling in. Again, welcome to the stream, everybody. If you guys are new here, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, because we're going to be going live for earnings the next 2 days and for FOMC tomorrow. I hope you guys are ready for FOMC tomorrow, because we are getting the interest rate decision from Powell literally tomorrow. So we'll see if rates are going to be cut. There's a very high chance that they are going to be cut. And we're going to be streaming live while Mr. Jerome Powell speaks tomorrow, starting at 2 p.m. Eastern. And then we're going to be staying live for all the earnings for the next 2 days, including Microsoft, Apple, I think Amazon. There's basically all of the Mag 7 is reporting the next couple of days. So you guys absolutely do not want to miss the streams the next couple of days. And let me put this news widget. Still not seeing numbers. What is it? It's 1:06 now, Pacific time, that is. Getting some kind of wild candles here on the chart. Nothing insane. So we probably won't get numbers till about 15 minutes after close, which is about 10 minutes from now. Oh, all right. We just got, look at that. Visa is falling off of my chart right now. That was literally a meme that just happened. Whoa. What are we doing here? We just dropped 2.5% in about 2 seconds. That was pretty wild. That was pretty wild. Let me see if the numbers dropped on that candle. I'm not seeing any numbers quite yet, but that was quite the drop, you guys. For Visa, that was pretty significant. So far, it's not looking super great. But again, anything could happen. Anything could happen. That just fell through my chart, though. I literally had to adjust my screen. That was an insane candle on the 1-minute chart. But it's kind of retracing back up to what it's lost. So, yeah. If you're long, you're kind of in the clear still. Only down a little bit so far, but we'll see what happens as time goes on here. It's 1:07. We probably got, I'm guessing, 8 minutes until the actual numbers come out. Not exactly sure what that movement was caused by. Maybe something was leaked, or maybe the numbers are out and just not seeing them yet. Earnings are released kind of weird sometimes. You never know. You never know. But yeah, continue to watch here, see what's going on. Is anybody betting on Kalshi out there? I know there's tons of, I don't even know if they have Kalshi markets for something like Visa earnings, but I know for some of the big earnings, like probably the next couple of days, there's lots of Kalshi markets out there. Yeah, UNH reported earnings this morning. We can take a look at if UNH is moving, I guess. Yeah, UNH is not moving at the moment. They did have kind of a wild candle today. As you can see, they pretty much didn't move. Open and close is right basically at the same spot, and you see these wicks at the top and bottom, as including after hours data. But they did open gapping up around 380, and they came down since open. But UNH, they had kind of a mixed earnings. They're hanging in there, though. They're not looking terrible. Let's take a look at Visa back here again. On the 1-minute chart, you can see still down just a little bit from close. We closed about like right here. Only down, we're down about 1% now at this point. So nothing too crazy quite yet. Move that over there. But honestly, that was some pretty nice movement on for something like Visa here. Let me refresh the news widget. 2 minutes ago. All right, we got numbers. That was probably causing that. Visa Q4 adjusted EPS beats, so they had 2.98, beating the 297 estimate, and then sales beat the estimate as well. 10.724 billion beat the 10.614 billion estimate for revenue, which is about a 10% increase from the same period last year. And then, yeah, EPS is basically just a slight beat. Yeah, Fossey, I guess you did call it. They double beat and then they are down, but they're really not down too bad, which is nice. But luckily, I think you sold your calls, didn't you? So you should be fine, I hope. But either way, yeah, Florian, it's earnings. You never know. Earnings are really kind of a toss-up. A company can beat earnings and still drop. It really just depends on everybody's positioning in the stock. Oh yeah, we did have someone. Who is 18x levered? Yeah, Florian. I forgot that was you. Yeah, I mean, you still have a chance though. I mean, they're still going to have the earnings call coming up, so maybe they say something really good about forward guidance or something. Then there have been plenty of occurrences where the stock initially drops and then ends up, mooning the next day even as well. So it's just really a toss up. It's always a toss up with earnings. See if there's any more news. No news yet. Not seeing any specific news on earnings guidance yet. Earnings call, let's take a look. It's usually in about an hour. It will be live. Q4 conference call webcast. It's actually in about 50 minutes. They're going to have the earnings call. I can drop the link for you as well if you want. That's the link for the earnings call. Yeah, they released earnings, but they're going to have the call where they talk with the CEO and all of that good stuff in about 50 minutes. And that's where they, answer questions from, investment bankers and shareholders and stuff like that. So definitely get some movement there, depending on what is said. Again, though, it's Visa. This isn't like Tesla or something that's going to be an insane mover. It's a pretty stable, consistent business model. What is our I don't post the tweets, but what did we post? Yep, we posted this, the Visa numbers that we just went over, double beat and -1% after hours. Looks like also we posted about BKNG after hours. Let's take a look at BKNG bookings holdings. Wow, this stock is very, very high. This is over a $5,000 stock. So their 1 minute chart is kind of wild. But wow, look at their 15-minute. It looks like booking holdings is up almost 5% after hours, which is pretty wild. Pretty nice. Look at that nice 15-minute candle. If you pull up the daily chart, you can see they're doing pretty well. Looks like, what do we post? EPS beat and revenue beat. So double beat here on bookings holdings. I believe also, was it ENPH reporting right now? Yeah, ENPH, which is Enphase Energy, a solar company, is reporting. Let's see. So actually I have forward guidance for this one as well. But first of all, the actual numbers we see. Q3 adjusted EPS beats by quite a bit, 90 cents versus 65 cents. That's really, really a good beat. Sales of 410 million beat 365 million estimate. That is a very, very nice beat. Looks about 38 to 39% increase on both ends there. And it looks like it's coming down. I mean, solar stocks have, as you can see, not been doing super great. And even on that nice earnings report, it looks like it is coming down. And I believe another stock that reported today is MOD, M-O-D. Believe they do. October 28th post market. I'm not seeing, let me see. Doesn't look like MOD has released earnings yet. Interesting enough, though. Visa back up, someone says. Whoa, let's see. Whoa, look at that. Visa all of a sudden shoots back up. Wow. Somehow I missed that move. Thought the move was over until the call, but apparently not. I told you guys, never know with earnings. Florian, your 18x levered trade is probably doing great right now. Oh yeah. Love to see it. Yeah, I told. If you ever want to just have a panic attack, you can 18x lever on an earnings trade. Sounds like a fun time if you win. Visa was falling, but now it's not. Now it's up almost 1%. Look at that. And it's moving and moving. It's moving very nicely right now. Florian, you're probably having one hell of a time. Congrats on your 18x levered earnings trade. What are you trading on, by the way? That's giving you 18x leverage. Curious. And I'm also curious, can you even sell an after hours? Trade Republic. Yeah. I'm in the US. I don't use that. But I'm curious, do they let you sell after hours? So right now, could you even sell and take profit even if you wanted? That is a good question. Yes, this is very, very nice. Let me find something here that we can ask Sidekick. But who else is out there trading earnings? I'm curious. By the way, if you guys are just showing up, make sure to like and subscribe because we are going to be going live the next couple of days for FOMC tomorrow. You guys absolutely do not want to miss FOMC. The market's probably going to go insane. Then we also have tons of the Mag 7 reporting earnings within the next couple days. So subscribe and hit that notification bell because we will be live and covering it in real time. Here's a nice prompt that I have for Psychic that kind of goes and analyzes recent earnings. It's kind of a long prompt, but hang with me here. I'm going to do this, change this ticker to V. Basically, it's going to give us a brief summary. State if they beat or miss. Obviously, know it's a double beat. It's going to scan the news and just give us everything that you'd possibly want to know about what happened during this Visa earnings event. Amazon, Meta, and Microsoft, I cannot wait for those to report earnings. We're going to be live for it tomorrow. Do I think they're going to go up and down? I don't know. What I do know is that Microsoft is actually check right now. Did Microsoft hit an all-time high? Microsoft popped today, almost hitting all-time highs. Based on news that they basically own 27% of OpenAI. So that was cool. You know, they've obviously always been invested in OpenAI and having, a stake in them, but basically something dropped today. Talking about they have a 27% stake and they get 20% of their revenue of their for-profit, I believe it is, because, OpenAI is going basically a not-for-profit, but also a for-profit. It's kind of weird. But Microsoft, I think personally at this point is going to hit all-time highs again, whether that's during earnings, which is tomorrow post-market, maybe not. But look how close they are. Personally, I think Microsoft will do it, but you never know. Let's go back to Visa here. Visa's still hanging in there. Amazon, they also just had Amazon also just had news that they are, one, laying off a bunch of people, and two, planning to replace a bunch of people with robots, potentially saving them billions of dollars. So honestly, they're probably going to go up too. I mean, it's getting pretty insane with this AI stuff, you guys. Like, it is genuinely replacing tons of jobs as we speak. Kind of crazy. We kind of all knew this was going to happen, but it's really starting to happen. And so far, obviously the stock market loves it. But if you work at Amazon and getting laid off, you probably don't love it. Yep. Earnings did come out and they did have a double beat. Yep. Again, if you guys are just tuning in, hit the subscribe button. We'll be going live for all the earnings and the FOMC event over the next week. This is honestly one of the craziest, probably the craziest week in the stock market that we'll see probably all year. We got FOMC, and then we got pretty much all the Mag 7 reporting earnings over the next couple of days. So these stocks control like a very, very large portion of the major indexes and the total stock market itself. So you do not want to miss what happens over the next couple of days. And then FOMC, they're going to be talking about what happens with interest rates, which is huge news, obviously. So, and then Mr. Jerome Powell is going to be speaking tomorrow. So you absolutely need to be paying attention over the next couple of days. And we're going to be covering it all live. But as you can see, Visa here, this is what my prompt spit out. Visa reported earnings, company beat on both EPS, 4.6% surprise, and revenue. Looks like multiple buy initiations from major banks, including Wells Fargo, Citigroup, and KeyBank. That was in late October, suggesting continued confidence in Visa. It's hard not to have confidence in a company like this. Revenue year-over-year of plus 14%, revenue surprise plus 3.2. So yeah, obviously double beat. And then we can compare the valuation versus its peers. We kind of already did this before. As you can see, Visa does honestly have the highest price of sales compared to its competitors, which is interesting. This one actually put COF in there instead of PayPal. It's another good one to compare it to. Wow, significantly less net income for COF compared to like AXP on the same amount of revenue, which is interesting. Yeah, Shun, that's a good question. Talking about credit card delinquencies rising. Realistically, in the short term, Visa, I guess, is just collecting interest payments. But if it all kind of blows up and, who knows what's going to happen there. Kind of the problem with the buy now, pay later stocks as well, like Affirm. Yeah, now it's an interesting question. And you're probably right, Cobra. Probably will definitely get some nice movement tomorrow. Right now the market is closed. A lot of people don't even have the ability to buy and or sell right now. So tomorrow, definitely we'll see really what's going to happen. But here's the bull versus bear case of Visa, brought to you right by Sidekick. If you're not on TrendSpider already, again, you can try out the platform for just $9 today using the link down below in the description, or just going to TrendSpider.com. We have our Halloween sale, and you'll be able to use these tools like Sidekick here to pretty much connect with all the market data and analyze the markets for you. Give you stuff like earnings breakdowns, like it's giving me right here, bull versus bear case here on Visa. We see the bull case is explosive earnings growth, of course, double beat, best in class margins. They have a higher, net margins than MasterCard and all their competitors by a mile. Analysts love them. Global shift from cash to digital payments continues, which is obviously bullish for Visa as well. In the bear case, we got a premium valuation. You can see their P ratio is quite a bit higher than their competitors. Same with their price to sales ratio. Leaves little room for execution miss or a macro slowdown. Florian, should I wait with the Visa sell until the market in the U.S. opens again? That one's really on you, man. I mean, that is a tough one. If you're on 18x leverage, I would personally would not want to hold that. You're probably going to be fine, but if you want to have sleep tonight, maybe take some off the table and just have a regular non-18x levered position. That's just my 2 cents, not financial advice. But let's see. There could be worse things to be levered in other than Visa, though. Competitive pressure, MasterCard, duopoly stable, crypto rails, real-time payment networks could erode long-term take rates. That's the only thing that I kind of think about when I think about Visa and MasterCard is potential of blockchain to disrupt the industry. But I think Visa will probably hop on the blockchain train themselves before that happens, but you never know. Yeah, Cobra. Florian over here is an 18x levered Visa long, apparently. So yeah, he's been having a roller coaster of emotions. But yeah, that's the bull bear case for Visa. Its valuation against sector peers. What happened? Did we get? Let's see. Let's see if we got any forward guidance. Let's see. 1 minute ago, nothing there. Yeah, so no forward guidance that I see yet. We'll probably get on the earnings call, which again is going to be in about 30 minutes. Visa already had a double beat. The only thing left to see in Visa is their earnings call. Nihal, who are you talking about? Is this guy fake? I don't know. Florian, or are you talking about me? No, this is not pre-recorded, Nihal. I'm talking to you right now. That'd be crazy if this was pre-recorded, honestly, because this is like the live market. But thank you for joining. Since you're new to TrendSpider Live, hit that subscribe button, Nihal, so you can tune in for the next couple of days because we're going to be going live, not pre-recorded, for FOMC and all the major earnings over the next couple of days. And no, I am not fake. And it's good to have you here. But Visa is really hanging in there pretty well, you guys. Let's take a look at some other stocks that are reporting today. If we open the market scanner, you can simply just say, find stocks that are reporting earnings today. Click find symbols now, and that's exactly what it is going to do. Do you think Visa will go up? I already know Visa will go up because it did go up by 0.61%. It is trading right now. But if you mean tomorrow, I don't know. It probably will go up more tomorrow. And let's scan in the NYSE composite list. And let's see what reported earnings today. Anything crazy out here? Obviously, Visa. I think Visa will probably be up a couple percent tomorrow if I were to guess. But I am no crystal ball holder. Meritage Home. You're going to have to give me a ticker for that. I don't know what that is. Let's see. Yeah, UNH reported this morning, you guys, if you didn't see. And they didn't really go anywhere. Well, they tried to move up. As you can see here on the daily chart, they had this wick above the resistance level right over here, but came right back down below it. So basically somewhat of a fake breakout, but they did end up closing higher than yesterday's close. So they had a decent day overall. TrendSpider is an all-in-one trading platform that you can use to scan stocks, build custom indicators. You can sell your custom indicators on here. You can scan for stocks. You can do so much on TrendSpider, you guys. It's basically a platform where you can analyze everything that you need to know about the markets in a single dashboard, whether it be fundamentals, technical analysis, unusual options flow. You can build trading bots. You can build custom strategies to run trading bots. You can see analyst expectations. You can view Fred data on here. Basically, you can trade from here too, even. Yes, you can view unusual options flow, and you can even use AI to analyze unusual options flow. Let me show you guys something pretty cool right here. There's something called Sidekick right here, which is basically ChatGPT connected to all of TrendSpider's data. Right now, Florian, you can try TrendSpider for $9, and you can try it for 14 days for just $9. Yes, it is all accurate. We pay a lot of money for all of this data. Let me show you guys real quick what it can do here. For one, if you're looking at, for example, Visa, and you want to see what's going on with the unusual options flow, you can type analyze the, let's say, this week's unusual options flow in Visa for me, and let me know if it's bullish or bearish and what to watch out for. Build a graph of the results as well, broken down by calls and puts. So instead of actually having a look at, for one, let me show you guys too. We do have the unusual options widget here on the right-hand side of the screen that you can maximize there for you. And you can filter by expiration dates, by amount of premium, and the strike prices. But I think the most awesome way to kind of do it is just to have Sidekick analyze it for you. Look at this. So analysis of Visa unusual options flow for the past week. So call options, 52 transactions totaling 2.28 million in premium, and then puts totaling 1.31 million in premium. This does not have access to the internet on purpose, because it only has access to actual data that we pay for that we know is accurate, which is very, very important, because if you've ever used ChatGPT, you know that it can definitely make up data, but this one pretty much doesn't, because it connects directly with the data. And it tells you the flow is moderately bullish with calls outpacing puts by nearly 2 to 1. You can see it by date right here, calls in green, put options in red. And you can really ask this to build you any type of chart that you want. Really whatever you want to see at all. Like if you guys have any questions, you can just ask it to Sidekick. You get 25 free messages per month for any plan in TrendSpider. And again, we're on sale. So if you want to see the exact pricing, you can use the link. I'll post it in the chat. But you can try out the platform for just $9 thanks to our Halloween sale. And then you could save up to 55% if you decide to continue using the platform and you want to pay for it. But it really just depends on the way you guys want to trade. There's tons of custom indicators on our TrendSpider store, custom scanners, custom strategies. No, I wouldn't say these messages are alerts. They really just they answer anything that you want to know about the markets. I guess if you ask it for specific places to buy, you can consider it alerts, but it is not directly. We're not really a trade alert, kind of platform. You can build strategies based on this stuff that gives you entry and exit signals. For example, if I go ahead and open the strategy tester here, we do have plenty of strategies that you can use. A very, very basic one. I don't know if you guys heard of something like the golden cross. But here's a super basic strategy. Let's run it on the QQQ ETF. And I'll even show you our golden cross custom indicator. Basically, a golden cross happens when the 50-day SMA crosses over the 200-day SMA. And when that happens, it automatically, with this custom indicator, turns the candles gold. And as you can see, we have a strategy built on for golden crosses that will buy when a golden cross occurs and sell when a death cross occurs. Last time a golden cross happened, we actually posted a YouTube video about it. You can go back into our YouTube and check. But basically goes long on that golden cross. You can see the entry long, and it back tests this same signal of entries and exits over the last 27 years about. And it plots the actual returns of if you just bought every golden cross and sold on a death cross over the last 27 years. So that way you can analyze what signals to buy and sell work well over time. And you can build your own custom indicators, custom scripts, and back test them on our platform yourself. And you can use the same thing as a market scanner, so you can find stocks, for example, having a golden cross. So if I press scan on this, you're going to see stocks recently having golden crosses. So they're recently going to have the 50 SMA cross and above. You see BBY, you got HPQ having a golden cross today. FRTs are just S&P 500 stocks. But yeah, that is a good example of the strategy tester and a market scanner. One of my favorite things to do in this as well is use the stock market map. I put in sector ETFs into my stock market map here. And so these are all the sectors of the market. And what I like to look for is where the money is rotating into sector-wise. So the stuff all the way towards the right is stuff that is up over the last 30 days. SMH is semiconductors ETF, up the most over the last 30 days. Stuff all the way to the left is stuff that is down. You can see energy is down quite a bit over the last 30 days. And then towards the top, this is the year change. And you see gold is leading over the last year. So, there's tons and tons of different stuff you can do with TrendSpider. It really just depends on how you like to trade. If you're an investor, a trader, a day trader, a swing trader, whatever it is. But there is definitely something for everyone on this platform. If you guys have any other questions, I'd highly recommend signing up. One of the best things about TrendSpider, honestly, is our customer support. Again, you can get a trial for $9, and then you'll be able to use this contact us button at the bottom of the platform. And if you have any questions about it, they can answer them for you. And you can also ask me right here live. So that was kind of my brief rundown of just a small amount of the things that TrendSpider can do. Another thing that we're decently well known for is seasonality data. For example, if I pull up like SPY, which is the S&P 500, I can see the months that SPY does well historically. And as you can see, November, which is starting in just a few days, is historically the best month over the last 33 years of data for the S&P 500, which is interesting. And September is the worst month. So that's seasonality data. You can change, the number of periods and all that stuff. So, yeah, if I go back up to Visa, you can see it's really not doing a whole lot. We got the earnings call in about 20 minutes. We might stick around for that, depending on if we get any movement here. Probably not. Probably because we're going to be live for the next 2 days for pretty significant events. Again, FOMC tomorrow. And let's take a look at other stocks reporting in the next couple of days while we're here. I believe Apple is reporting the 30th. Again, Apple just hit all-time highs literally today. Pretty wild stuff. What else? We got Microsoft reporting tomorrow after the market closes. Again, we're going to be live for that. Right after we go live for FOMC, I don't think you guys understand how crazy tomorrow is going to be, because we have FOMC during the market, and then right when the market closes, when FOMC ends, we're having Microsoft earnings, one of the biggest stocks in the entire world. Webull p.m. Capital. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, is it moving after hours? Not really. Yeah, I mean, Webull seems to be, it's definitely an interesting company. Looks like their revenue has been okay. They've only had a couple quarters. It's really hard to say based fundamentally, but if you look at the technical side of it, or it looks like they IPO'd or SPAC'd or whatever it was right around 1160. Like right there. And they've been holding that level pretty well. If anything under like 1165 seems to have been a pretty solid time to buy, I guess. Overall, the stock itself is yeah, it's hasn't been doing super hot. It's had its moments. You know, you can definitely make some money swing trading this. It looks like you can make, you know, they've gone up like 67%. You can probably make 50%, 20% or so, not too long. But overall, the chart itself, if you pull up like the weekly, even, I mean, maybe not the worst kind of mean reversion play, assuming it doesn't break below that IPO price. Yeah, if there's anything else you guys want me to look at, please let me know down in the chat below. We can do so. Carvana has been a pretty wild one. This one has been one of the most insane comeback stories that I have ever seen. When do these guys report earnings? Carvana reports earnings here tomorrow as well. Wow. She didn't even realize that, but they came down basically 100%. I mean, they went from, you can see like 360 down to like, what did they even hit down here? It's like a couple bucks, basically down 100%. You basically lost all your money if you went in there. And now it's all the way back up. And if you bought, you know, basically at the bottom, you're up like 6,000%. And these guys report earnings tomorrow. So that'll be a fun one probably to watch. Very, very insane comeback story. Gold has been a crazy one. Let's check out gold. It's looking like the trend is potentially starting to die across gold. I think FOMC tomorrow will be pretty big for gold. But pretty much what happened here on gold is that they were consolidating inside of this base right here. And then, yeah, they basically broke out, of course. And you can see they had a massive gap on the breakout. Not a massive gap, but a big volume spike on the breakout. And they went ahead and went up like 26%. And now from the top, they're down 10%. So I don't know. Probably wouldn't be buying gold at this level personally. It seems like the momentum is starting to fade from what I'm seeing. But yeah, depending on what happens on FOMC tomorrow, same with silver, should be interesting. TLT will be a good one to watch. TLT, which is bonds, is showing signs of starting to potentially move higher. You know, rate cuts dropping is theoretically bullish for bonds since bonds are pretty much inverse to rates. As rates go up or as rates go down, bonds should theoretically go up since they are inversely correlated. But we'll see what happens when the rates are probably cut tomorrow. So that one should be fun to watch. Other stocks that are reporting earnings, we got Meta, again, also tomorrow post-market. This one's been pretty interesting, kind of been basing up right here, and recently had a kind of a gap up just yesterday, actually, and pretty close to its all-time highs. That one will be fun to watch. I know you guys were talking about Amazon. Pretty decent volume today to the upside. It looks like it broke above this pivot level right here as well. So that should be a fun one. They report earnings in 2 days after the market closes. So you guys, all these massive stocks are reporting this week. We're going to be live for all of them. So definitely make sure to tune back in over the next 2 days. If you're not already, hit the like button, hit subscribe so you guys do not miss out on it. Yeah, Palantir. Palantir and NVIDIA just recently, today, I believe it was, announced a partnership together. So that was pretty wild. Palantir is sitting at this very crucial pivot level right here at around, call it like 188, kind of sitting right above it. And they've been pretty bullish looking lately. I mean, honestly, they've just been consolidating here with declining volume. These gaps kind of above this pivot level didn't have a ton of volume. I'd like to see a little bit more volume over these 2 days, but they do have earnings coming up soon, so that one definitely be fun to watch. If you check out NVIDIA was probably the most wild mover today. They were up a good about 4% on the partnership deal with Palantir, that is. Again, two of the most craziest stocks in the market just partnered up. Don't see that every day. Do not see that every day. And yeah, they are sitting at all-time highs. NVIDIA usually reports earnings a little bit later than everyone else. They don't report till November 19th, so I'll have to wait a couple of weeks for NVIDIA earnings, but I assure you will be live for that one as well. Adobe, not doing a whole lot. They don't have earnings coming up for a bit either. But yeah, I mean, they've been taking some heat for sure over the last over a year, pretty much. They've really only came down. Trading, pretty close to these. Get my horizontal line tool. Say that's a pretty good pivot level to watch. I mean, there's like a triple bottom right there. It's definitely what look for like 330 to hold probably. Man, it doesn't seem like the worst trade. I mean, their revenue still seems good. EPS seems good. Yeah. Yeah, I don't disagree, Florian. It's not, I've never really traded Adobe myself much either, to be honest, but just looking at the chart, seems like something that might at least have a mean reversion back to the upside. Oscar, haven't really looked at Oscar in honestly kind of a while. Hasn't done much. Not really much to say here on Oscar other than they need to break above this resistance here. If you do believe in the company over the long term, it's probably good to buy under this level, obviously as low as you can. But yeah, they are trading in a $10 range here or so. $10 range they're trading between. So ideally you trade, you get in at the lower end of that range. They're kind of closer to the higher end. But yeah, they've really haven't done anything since February of 2024, it seems like. Yeah, Adobe's pretty much a double bottom, even a triple bottom, really, if that is even a thing. Let me see. Let's see if TrendSpider is marking this double bottom. Yep, there's the double bottom there on the daily chart right there. So yeah, it needs to break over that 365 neckline on Adobe. Let's check out Visa real quick. Yeah, so Visa, I mean, honestly, they really didn't move at all since close. Well, they did, obviously. They went down, then up. Now they're sitting there pretty much right where they closed at. They closed where? Pretty much like right here. Yeah, they're pretty much flat since the market closed. On Visa, see if SoFi is moving at all after hours. And SoFi reported this morning as well. That's funny. There's a 1 minute double bottom. All right. Yeah, SoFi has been very nice. But yeah, guys, I mean, not much else to say here on this market. I think is really the calm before the storm going into tomorrow's FOMC event. It looks like SPY is hitting all-time highs yet again today. And it looks like they actually went up more after the market closed. Somewhat. They came down at the end of the market there. But we just keep chugging new all-time highs. We look at the small cap ETF IWM. IWM was down today, interesting enough, right before FOMC tomorrow. But yeah, you guys, I think that's probably going to do. We've been live for a little bit over an hour. Definitely, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and hit the like button, and tune in the next 2 days because we're going to be live around the same time tomorrow over the next couple of days for even bigger events, the FOMC, and a bunch of the Mag 7 earnings report over the next 2 days. So going to call it here for now, but I'll catch you guys tomorrow. But otherwise, you guys have a great rest of your day and happy trading. See ya.